welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maria. If you watch this video and you enjoy it, don't be shy, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Today we're just going to get into a quick video of narcissistic abuse in a nutshell. Okay guys, so I want to start off by explaining to you how someone ends up becoming a narcissist, okay? So this is the baseline of what is narcissistic abuse. How do they become narcissists in the first place? Well, what happens is when a child is younger, say they go through some sort of abuse, and they just don't deal with it. And instead of dealing with it, they hide it. They hide it deep down inside. Okay, so we get to the point where they are so ashamed of what they've gone through, and it is so deep down that they don't want to face what has happened, but they feel terrible inside. All right, so in turn, they want you to feel the kind of pain that they feel inside. All right, so that's the route they went down. So as these people get older, these are the group of people we would consider being narcissists. So something happened in their childhood, and as they get older, they have this void inside of them. So this place where instead of dealing with the abuse or whatever it was that they went through, instead they have this empty void, all right? So they now do not have any empathy for anyone else. They do not consider other people's feelings. It just doesn't matter to them. Anyway, so they have this void inside of them. So as they go along and they meet new people in life, your purpose is not to fill like an individual need. You are not an individual to a narcissist. You are something called narcissistic supply. So you as a person are put on this earth to serve a purpose for this narcissist, and that is to help them to fill this void that they have inside of them. So they are constantly trying to fill this void so that they don't have to look at this injury, this thing that they went through at whatever, as they were developing as children. They don't want to see that. So they think of somebody who's constantly trying to do things so they don't have to face their pain. All right, so that's what they're doing. They're using people to fill this empty void inside of them. So unfortunately, this void cannot be filled. It's a void inside of them. The only way this void can be filled is if the individual takes a look inward at themselves, deep down, goes through years of therapy to actually heal whatever it is that happened to them. But this is so deep down, like there's so many layers of denial on top of this. This would take years and years of therapy. That's why we always say, if you do run into a narcissist, that it is a good idea to go no contact, because a lot of times people think, oh, this person can change. And they just don't understand that this person actually does not have empathy. So they're not able to change because you want them to change. They have to change because they want to change, which would take extensive amounts of therapy, and they would have to want to do that on their own. So this is what a narcissist is. So it is an individual that went through something in childhood, didn't feel, process, and grieve their pain. They buried their pain, and they're bitter about it. They did not develop empathy in the growing process, like as they grew up. So there's a system that goes on now as they develop relationships with different people in their life. Like, let's say a love relationship. So I'm gonna actually do a video on like a dictionary, kind of just a video of narcissistic terms, so you understand, you know, the different terms if you haven't gone into that depth of research yet. But the first thing you notice if you meet someone narcissistic is they are very into you. They are they want to know everything about you, in and out. What are some of the things you've been through in life? Let me comfort you. Let me tell you how wonderful of a person you are, how much you didn't deserve to have these things happen to you in your life. Let me find out your favorite foods, the process of a narcissist getting to know you is overwhelming. They flood you with a feeling of love and acceptance. You are everything. Their world now revolves around you. This must be my Prince Charming or my princess I've been waiting for my whole life. No one's ever treated me like this. This is a once in a lifetime love. So what they're doing is they're skipping the process of organically getting to know you, right? And they're love bombing you. So this is step number one, is a narcissist is going to love bomb you. You are going to be just head over heels. They do this because they don't want you to see their flaws. It's going to be very much about you in the love bombing stage. This is them acquiring information. They're gathering information about you, and they're storing this information for later use. All right, so this is not an organic process. Everything that happens in the love bomb stage, it's all on purpose, okay? It's on purpose, like I said, to use later on. So the love bombing stage can last however long it lasts. I mean, there's not like a set time that this can happen. But what you start noticing is that as somebody who once treated you in this magical fairy tale land is now starting to use some of this information that you gave them against you. So this stuff that you trusted them with, that they once said, this is what was so intriguing about you, and you didn't deserve this. You now, deserve this in a way. So you start being punished for the things that you felt inadequate about, and you trusted yourself to tell these people. You're being punished for these things, right? So after this phase, when we start meshing this love bombing phase into the next phase could be gaslighting. So you may notice that like I said, the information is being used against you, but in such a manipulative way that you start questioning your own sanity. Did I tell him that? That's so weird. Like, I feel like, why would he even be saying that? Did I do something wrong? Maybe that's just me. Am I just thinking that? Because he was just, so good to me. That would be really weird if somebody was just like really amazing and treating me like gold, and now all of a sudden I'm getting this really weird feeling that I did something wrong. What did I do wrong? So if you start noticing yourself, questioning your sanity, and being confused about what did I do and why did things change, you start, pressing forward on how can I make this person happy again? How can I get this relationship back to the way it was before? So this is the stage where you are being gaslighted. And this stage can go on for as long as you let it. This stage is going to go on until you are aware of what is happening, or somebody says to you, have you ever heard of narcissistic abuse? And you start doing your research, because this is confusing. And I don't blame you for hoping that the relationship could go back to how it was in the beginning, because being love bombed feels damn good. Especially if you're somebody who is codependent and you feel you had been abandoned at some point in your life. See, a narcissist knows all this. They're listening to your stories. They know your triggers. So you're gaslighted at this point. So this may go on long enough that you start resenting them, you start fighting, you're angry, you notice this relationship is really going downhill, but you're so fixated on how can I fix this and how can I get it back to this phase. Well, this is about the time that a narcissist will start forming relationships with new narcissistic supply. So this will obviously happen, behind your back, So what they're doing is they're now in an interview process with new narcissistic supply. So new people that are able to give them that feeling that they want to fill that void, right? Because now you are not giving them what they want, because you are noticing that things aren't good, like there's something wrong. So you're not filling that void. You see how they're not looking at people as individuals? So you're not filling that void. So who can I find now who's going to fill this void? It's a revolving door. All right? So now they are in the interview process of new supplies. Once a new supply is lined up, it's like they are being prepped. So they may be going through a love bombing phase. They may be being prepped for a love bombing phase. So what happens with you? Well, you may move out of the phase you're in into the discard phase. So this is where the narcissist starts pushing your buttons so hard and the abuse is getting so bad until either you leave them or they push you out. All right? So this is only when they have a new supply secured. They will not be alone. The new supply is secured. If they do not have a new supply secured and you go to leave them, you will have somebody begging for you back because they need a narcissistic supply at all times. That's why you see these people who get in and out of relationships so quickly. Why don't they take time for themselves and organically get to know themselves and to heal? Because they're not trying to heal from anything. They're trying to do the complete opposite. They're trying to just fill this void inside of them that's missing so that they don't have to heal from anything. You're not an individual. You're just replacing the last narcissistic supply. So once you are discarded, you may notice that the narcissist has you on a short string. So it might be, they might text you and check up on you. Hey, I know you're feeling bad and you're feeling sad. Just know I love you and I miss you too. I'm going through a lot of pain as well. This is to hold you. It's like, I'm going to save you for later. I'm going to save you because a narcissist has a crayon box of supply. If you're their pink supply and they feel like coloring with pink that day, they're going to pick you out of their pink coloring. You're their pink crayon. They're going to pick you out. So they have a coloring box. So if they need green on this day, they need to kind of keep you there thinking, maybe they were a nice person. Maybe it was me. Maybe this other girl is the one for them and I just wasn't her. I just wasn't the right girl. No one's the right person, because all they're doing is, again, trying to fill this void which cannot be filled by anyone. It is not you. This is why we call it narcissistic abuse, emotional abuse. When they are gaslighting you, they are messing and abusing your emotions. They are psychologically abusing you. You feel confused. Was this me? A healthy relationship is not going to confuse you. It's going to have open communication and unconditional love. So look at what a healthy relationship should be, or could be, or would be, and then compare it to what you're going through now. And are you blaming yourself? All right. So like I said, if you are in the discard phase and you notice that they keep wanting you back, or you keep going back to them, they've changed, know that you are just supply to them, and you're not the only one. And I am so sorry, but this is why we say go no contact. No contact is very difficult. Easier said than done. Very, very important. No contact involves blocking social media, not investigating their social media, not going down that rabbit hole, blocking their phone number, email address. Do everything you can to completely take them out of your life. And what happens is, if you don't do that, there's something called hoovering. And a narcissist will think of like a helicopter in the sky, and they're just looking down there on the ground. Where are you? You know, what has he or she been up to? What are they doing? It's this form of control that they always want to know they have you. They always want to know they're in control of you. If you go straight up, no contact, I am not talking to you anymore. In my experience, I have not had my narcissistic relationships hoover me, because they knew from the way that we broke up that there was no way I was ever going to get back together with them. And I'm glad I did that. So that is narcissistic abuse in a nutshell. So like I said, I'm going to make a video on these different terms so you can understand them more clearly. I know there's a lot to it, and it's like a whole nother world out there, but it's better to be safe than sorry and to understand this stuff. Okay guys, so thank you so much for watching my video today. If you enjoyed it, don't be shy, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for any future videos on narcissistic abuse recovery and complex post-traumatic stress disorder. And as always, I wish you all the love in the world.